Are you okay, babe?
In all honesty, no, not really. What's up, beautiful? My name is Taco. Shout out to the 415, and today I will be the one ranking the 4-5 guns in Sulfur. So I've had all of this recorded for over 3 weeks now, this and my next 2 videos, but I just haven't been in the right headspace for it. Not gonna talk about it, but hey, Happy New Year, salute. If you don't drink, pull up some water. If you got sorrows to drown, pick a better drink.
The Gonster's gonna land itself in the D tier. It's definitely a weapon and it's attacking my taste buds right now. Alright, it's tier list time. Obviously, every single one of these guns can be made S tier with the right oil enchantments and scenarios, so instead, I will be ranking these strictly based on their value within a Sulflocke challenge run. A very brief explanation on what that means for this video: you can only get 2 guns to beat the entire game. Both of those guns are random and every upgrade you get on them is random as well. Some guns can be absolutely ruined by receiving the wrong enchantment, so all of that will be taken into consideration. The inverse of this can also be said, where the base kit of a weapon may not be amazing, but with a simple damage modification or ammo save upgrade, the gun can become phenomenal. Big booty butt though. If a burger needs 40 toppings and condiments to be considered good, your burger was ass to begin with. So with all that being said, I'm gonna stop wasting your time prefacing this video and instead, waste your time directly with the video. Kicking off this list is the legendary Nop, or as I like to pronounce it, the nope, I'm not wasting my time on this sack of shit. A Sulflocke with this thing would basically just look like a rerun of my melee only video. Sporting a single bullet mag capacity and hitting like a newborn baby, you've got a better chance of running past all the enemies than actually killing anything with this. I was gonna say this thing is as useless as a used condom, but even that holds more value in this game. I'd be a lot more forgiving if the gun automatically reloaded after shooting it, but you have to manually press the reload button just to rechamber. So with all that being said, unless you get insanely lucky with a chamber chisel, a bunch of damage upgrade mods, or infinite ammo, you'll die of boredom before a boss ever dies from this gun. I'm not racist, but if I ever get this gun, I'll be racing for a reset. The Nop is going straight in the F tier. Apparently Hasbro hasn't been spamming enough ads in the Sulfur universe because this unknown piece of alien technology is really just a nerf dart gun. Sporting the absolute lowest damage output of every single gun in the entire game, this gun gives a Glock 19 from Crime Center a run for its damn money. The 4000 durability is nice, but when the hell am I ever gonna live long enough to scavenge and shoot 4000 bullets from this thing? The other major drawback is that the energy ammo type is less accessible than 9mm, and the 9mm default gun completely outperforms the unknown. As much as I love the design of this thing, it's gotta go in the F tier. Also, found a new tier list maker so we can actually see the guns. Yahoo! Topping off our straight to VHS trilogy is a gun that I absolutely love outside of a Sulflocke, and that is the Flicker. This little Zippo is the ultimate utility weapon that serves as a reliable wall breacher. Unfortunately for the Flicker though, the awful sights, low damage, minuscule 5-round magazine, and the frail durability of my grandmother just means that it's overshadowed by every single other option. Its functionality as a single slot inventory item doesn't even matter when it's always equipped in your weapon slot. I quit smoking 2 years ago, so it doesn't even have that going for it. You hate to see it, but the flaming Lego block is going to be our final piece in the unholy trifecta. Sporting the same amount of damage per bullet as the Nerf dart gun, the Neuraxis is about as close to F tier as you could possibly get. This gun is basically standard issue for every single stormtrooper in Star Wars. With a spread of 20, the Neuraxis is basically a 3-year-old trying to color within the lines. It's got a really nice 100-round drum, but the reload is so damn slow a single clip could be aired in movie theaters. So you might be wondering, what the hell is there to even like about this thing? Well, if we get a damage oil or some ammo consume chance, the viability of this thing shoots up astronomically. While this thing may be Cyberpunk 2077 on launch, with enough patches, it has the potential to become the Cyberpunk we know today. Still think it's absolute dog shit though. The Neuraxis is going bottom of D tier. Next up we got this nut, and this gun is a certified hood classic that the homie Dot used to complete the very first Sulflocke ever. Unfortunately, even Hall of Famers gotta know when to retire, and this gun is far past its prime. With the addition of Fortress and Desert, the snub-nosed pocket rocket just lacks the damage necessary to clear a modern run. The enemies in our later stages just have too much health for this thing. 6 slow-ass shots won't cut it when every enemy is gonna take a minimum of 5. Still though, the feel of this gun is so smooth, and at the rate that Dot's been going with his new Sulflocke, the Snut might be the new secret S tier.
I feel like I'm gonna die. And just because I'm saying it would not soften the blow. If I would have died right there, I would have chucked this new mouse.
Honestly though, this gun's been popping up in everybody's chest, and I wouldn't recommend committing yourself to a dirty Snut. Look, I'm sorry Denver, but this Bronco sucks. This is basically what you get if your mom says we got a Snut at home. It does 6 less damage, has 100 less durability, doesn't use deodorant, and the 10-round magazine capacity would be cool if you weren't fingering each individual bullet up its ass. I need you to make war, buddy, not love. Don't get me wrong, the concept for a cowboy repeater is cool, but it lacks the buttery revolver feel that the Snut provides. The hammer animation is far too disorienting for reliable follow-up shots. That's why it's going right above the Neuraxis. I already know placing the breacher right here is controversial because I keep fighting with myself whether or not it should be considered a C tier weapon. It's a phenomenal boss killer and great if you run into androids or abominations, but that's kind of where the value ends. The charge up this thing takes even for a single shot feels like sucking peanut butter through a Capri Sun straw, and the nerf to your movement speed looks like I'm trying to sprint underwater or something. The wind up it takes for a single shot can get you killed in a group setting, and the damage output is no greater than any other shotgun. While the breacher can be awesome for situational use, success in a Sulflocke is entirely reliant on your other gear and weapon. So even though it can be a great companion piece, we ain't gonna be breaching the C tier with this one alone. With a sick color scheme and a super unique reload to match, the Salamander is the definition of a personality hire. But, just like any other personality hire, when duty calls, you better hope somebody else picks up the phone. Despite being chambered in 7.62, this gun feels extremely underpowered. The 120 damage looks great on paper, but shooting this thing makes it feel like a damn typo. Between the slow fire rate, 8-round magazine, and iron sights that beg you to find an optic, I feel like this gun just gets overshadowed by too many other weapons. Performance-wise at least. If this was a list of my personal favorite guns, it would be a lot higher. Saint Balthazar, leave only allies behind. Yeah, this gun is badass. It shoots a 7.62 just like the Salamander, but actually has some good stopping power behind it. Where the gun really seems to falter is its craft beer size ammo capacity and a kickback to rival a Project X party. The Balthazar also has a slow RPM, making that necessary follow-up shot just really lag behind. The gun's honestly pretty decent fresh out the box, but it's really easily ruined by bad oil rolls. Negative damage, ammo consume chance, RPM, reload, bullet speed with least resistance. St. Balthazar must have been a spider having this many Achilles heels. Just like the Balthazar, Snut, and Bronco, the Pale Horse Top Clipper is another slow-ass hammer-cocked handgun that honestly just doesn't do it for me. More lackluster damage and the inability to reload until the entire magazine is empty, there's just not a lot of situations where I could see us benefiting from having this gun. The other weapon that shares the same reload gimmick outshines the Pale Horse in every single aspect. Plus, being a weapon that's chambered in 5.56, I think all of its competitors outperform this wannabe white Mustang. I'll still take it over the Neuraxis any day though. We're putting this horsey right on top of the other one. Next up we got Little Dirk, the default starting pistol in Chicago and Sulfur. It's basically just the flicker with 2 more rounds in the magazine, better iron sights, and more durability. Fortunately for the Paper Mario Walther, those 2 extra bullets are just enough to take out the humans and keep it out of the F tier. It's also fairly compatible with a lot of oils and attachments, which can make it a decent sidearm. But even with all of that, I wouldn't put my money on this thing beating the final boss. I think the Dirk is going to secure its spot as the 6th worst gun, right above the Bronco. You ever take a shit so hard you wake up in a different time zone? Yeah, me neither. 3 weeks ago I had the Arbiter sitting comfortably in the C tier, but after doing a few runs with this, it's been demoted to the D League. That bullet spread of 10 is so unreliable, it has failed to hit enemies point blank right in front of me. And not to mention, my toilet fucking reloads faster than this thing. Eminem said you get one shot, one opportunity, and you let it slip because you're using the Arbiter that takes 10 whole seconds deciding if it's on your team or the enemy's. It's similar to the Breacher in the fact that when it finally decides to hit something, you won't have to hit it again. It just sucks that every attempt uses 3 shotgun shells, so it's really easy to run out of ammo. And not to mention that every enchantment that goes on this can either make or break it for the entire run. The Arbiter is going to be our final weapon in the D tier, and now we get to move on to the guns that I consider fairly viable. Now, I wouldn't say I'd be so calm if I got this gun in a run, but I wouldn't cry about it either. The guns in this tier are basically like eating at Denny's. The food shouldn't get you killed, but don't expect to become Brian Johnson either. If this was Pokemon, the Flicker evolves into the Dirk, and the Dirk evolves into this thing. Faster reload, almost twice the mag capacity, quicker shots, and built to last. The SOCOM is a decent 9mm to obtain while doing a Sulflocke. The Yellow Submarine floats gently into the sea. Honestly thought this next weapon would land in the D tier, but the fact that you can insta-kill androids makes this a huge run saver. Unlike the Breacher 8, the Wyatt Pulsar can be fired instantaneously without any charge up. The single shot damage is rather unimpressive, but hey, flexibility means it's more viable. And just like the other energy weapons, the Pulsar has fantastic durability, meaning we won't have to worry about this thing breaking down on us mid-level. The only real drawback to this thing is a slow rate of fire and a lack of damage when it's uncharged. I think the other heavy hitters in this game are a lot more reliable, and that's why it goes in the C tier. Stupid ass pun. I got 3 words for you. The windup for the dart sucks, and you can definitely cause a couple party fouls if you don't have practice with it. While this thing has phenomenal damage potential, the subtle delay in when the shot is actually launched means you leave yourself open to enemy retaliation. A YouTuber named Shirt recently did a great Sulflocke using the dart and another gun that will be showing up later in this list. Runs with this gun can go one of 2 ways. Any negative RPM and reload speed severely nukes the viability of this thing, but if you get oils that do the reverse, the dart can carry you throughout the entire thing. So while it continues to struggle in a group setting, its power and ammo conservation make it a pretty solid backup gun. Quick disclaimer, Sulfur just dropped an update that buffed the durability for all the guns, so while it doesn't affect my rankings, some of the previous numbers that I displayed are lower than they are today. They also dropped a new gun, so that ruins my shitty joke in the beginning. Moving on though, we got the fancy and classy gun bow, the Impala Gravita. Personally, I hate this weapon, but I understand that it has a lot of potential for bosses and enemies with higher health. Flaccid shots won't even tickle the enemy. They demand a full pump, and I guess I'm just not a fan of guns that need a charge up in order to be useful. Oils can be insanely tricky with this one as well. The bad sights and miserable foreplay means that the negatives on those oils can go wild. Looks like not even your boy Kevin could tame this Impala. Okay, I actually have no idea how to pronounce this next one. Give me a second. I think it's something like... or something like that. So the... is another one of our extremely powerful but very slow firing weapons. It doesn't rely on charge up like our other heavy hitters, but the follow-up shots absolutely drag due to its abysmal fire rate. Thankfully though, if we get any RPM boosting oils, it makes a wave of improvement. But even though this gun smacks like a tank, the base rate of fire and extremely scarce ammo type keep it from the higher tiers. The Dolphin is our first gun that shoots the 50 BMG ammo type, which only gives you 6 shots per pack. I don't want to be political, but you're gonna have to be conservative if you get this gun. Dot's gonna ban me for this one, man, but I gotta throw the rap snitches in here. As badass as these things are, it's basically just the P38 Dirk Akimbo. The extended ammo capacity is great, but the poor ADS and extra spread means that we'll be wasting a lot of ammo with this. I built around this gun a lot because it's fun as hell, but in the random world of Sulflocks, unreliable accuracy paired with underwhelming kill times means a likely and stylish reset to look forward to. We're gonna put MF Doom and Mr. Fantastic right below the dart. I'm not monetized on YouTube, so guess what? Fuck keeping things PG. The Death Star is honestly pretty good. While the base kit has some very middling stats, the reload and controllability make it a solid weapon to pick up. The real potential for this thing lies in upgrades. A single upgrade to damage, projectiles, a gun crank, suppressor, frostbite, etc. The Death Star improves exponentially with these. The majority of negative side effects can ruin other weapons, but on the Death Star, most drawbacks are hardly even felt. While it's far from one of the greatest weapons in the game, I could definitely see myself beating a Sulflocke with this. The Gravekeeper is honestly a gun that I had zero respect for before I started running Sulflocks. It doesn't have the damage or magazine size to truly outshine any other handgun, but god damn does it feel comfortable. The reload feels like a soap-cutting ASMR video, and the gun still packs enough of a punch to kill enemies outside of the caves. Even without amazing oil luck, I made it to Fortress both times I got this weapon, and it performed fine each time. Now, would I have done better if I found something else? Absolutely. But there's still plenty of worse options, so I think it deserves a comfortable spot in the C tier. Aesthetically, I'd put the Gravekeeper in my top 5 though. And speaking of top 5, we got the Rakua 308. So, as much as it pains me to put this in C tier, I can't see a single other list where it would score this low. It's got solid damage and it's fun as hell to use. With the right oils and attachments, this cartoon Remington 700 can shred through levels. Its main drawback is the risky bolt action fire, which makes hitting small or quick enemies an absolute chore. It's not strong enough to one-tap the enemies like the assassins in Dungeon or the lurks in Fortress, so it's heavily reliant on whatever sidearm you end up getting. With the viability being too dependent on its partner, the Rakua will have to take its throne and crown to the top of C tier. Kicking off the B tier is the much hated and oddly controversial M3 Termite. Sporting a burst fire and scavenger friendly 9mm ammo type, it makes a great companion piece to a myriad of weapons on this list. Its biggest drawback is that time consuming reload, but unlike the Bronco and the I'd rather watch paint dry Neuraxis, this gun reloads 3 bullets at a time, making it far more tolerable. So, sluggish reloads aside, its kill time and abundant ammo type landed a solid spot in the B tier. Another gun I think people wouldn't consider being in the B tier is the Beck 8. 26 round mag capacity and a great fire rate make it decent out of the box, but like the Death Star PG, it's incredibly compatible with other oils. Your girl Becky does a great job being able to shrug off a lot of that negative bullshit and learn to really grow as a person. A little loss of RPM and reload here, inability to ADS, bullet speed, bullet drop. She'll push through it all and still deliver a solid gun for the next fight. Within reason, of course. One thing that really pushes this growth is practically any attachment you can find. Crit chance with the sights, reduced spread, a chamber chisel, and the fairly common gun crank turn this thing into an absolute monster. Overall, it's still not the best weapon fresh out of the box, as it's practically just the mega evolution of the SOCOM line. But where most guns are only viable with specific builds, the flexibility of old Becky here give her a spot in the bottom of B tier. Also, I try not to use melee in these clips, but the gun pairs very well with it, and obviously I needed to use it just a little bit.
Yo, Pierre, you wanna come out here?
I love this gun. It does the same amount of damage as the Rakua, but with lower weight and a more reliable follow-up. It has the same reload gimmick as the Pale Horse Top Clipper, but having even 1 bullet left in the mag still has kill potential. I've gone this twice on my runs now, and Pierre has yet to let me down. Not much to say, it's just a very easy B tier. Alright, next up we got the Helmback, and while it shares a lot of the same praises and drawbacks that I gave the Star and Witness, it does a lot more damage. The gun just proves itself to be more viable with the kill time than its 9mm counterpart. Its ADS and spread still waste a lot of ammo, and the alternating pistols get caught up on walls a lot. So despite it having some good kill potential, it still lacks a lot of promise to carry the run on its own. Finding a laser sight and a Bresnik compensator could do a lot of wonders for this thing though. The Helmback are going to sit fashionably at the bottom of B. The Drifter 9 is kind of a weird one. It doesn't stand out that much on paper, but this gun just racks up kills. It does the same amount of damage as the majority of other 9mm weapons. It doesn't have the best RPM when shooting full auto, but lets the bodies hit the floor. It's also in the same boat as Becky, where the negative oils don't hinder this thing as much as other guns. It's not invincible though, because I did get Matrix and Stationary Oil in one of my attempts. That absolutely ruined it. Still going in the B tier though. The Valet lands a spot in our B tier for much of the same reasons as the Drifter. It doesn't hit the hardest, but it still outperforms all the other 9mm pistols thanks to its RPM and full auto capabilities. I think the mag capacity holds this thing back a little bit, and despite having a better spread than the Drifter, I feel like less of the shots actually register. The Valet is a really solid weapon that just falls short for me when we're talking top tier. Despite doing the typical base rate of 40 × 8 damage that other shotguns do, the Mossman is still a little inconsistent when it comes to securing that kill. Narrowing that spread will definitely help, and if you manage to get a damage oil or extra projectiles, this thing sweeps through enemies. Despite not having that immediate burst potential, the main thing that puts this over the other shotguns we discussed so far is the actual ability to hold ammo and having an existing RPM. The rate of fire is the same as the Balthazar / Top Clipper family, but the pump feels so much smoother and the pellets smack way harder. The Mossy Boy is fairly common to find in caves, and it makes a great companion for just about any Sulflocke. Despite having the same damage output as the Mossman, Gilded Age Mario Lopez here does a lot better job of putting the fries in the bag. So I used to think this gun was lower tier because of the measly 2-shell capacity, but the never been to prison tightness of its spread really picks it up. While things like reload nerfs and extra ammo consume chance can really hurt this gun, there's still a lot of things that could really improve it as well. I think I still prefer the Mossman personally, but having the immediate second shot follow-up can be life-saving sometimes. On the flip side though, missing one of those two opportunities can be absolutely life-ending. It's kinda like a choose your own adventure. I think I'll slide the Mario right below the Mossberg chunk. Our last weapon for the B tier is the tailor-made marksman, and boy does this gun slap. Yet another weapon I really overlooked until I started running Sulflocks. This is the gun the top clipper wishes it could be. It fires the same ammo type in 5.56 but packs a way bigger punch. The damage is on par with the Balthazar but with double the ammo capacity and a tighter spread. It's literally like taking two D tiers and stacking them on top of each other to form a B. It still carries that same slow ass RPM that the Balthazar does for follow-up shots, so it's not perfect by any stretch of the means. But if you ain't being a marksman and landing those crits, then this gun isn't tailored for you. I'm gonna give the TM Mark II the second best mark and put it behind the Pierre. Hey, remember how I said the Taylor Marksman was our last gun in B tier? Well, I lied to you. Hit that subscribe button. Nah, in all honesty, I just barely found this gun after running Fortress 13 billion times and opening Kiosk secret menu. I didn't know where it was gonna land. I'm a sucker for burst fire, and this gun pulls it off well. The bullets have a tight spread, controllable recoil, and the follow-up feels nice. The fact that this gun reloads like a normal-ass weapon puts it a notch above the Termite, but that's about it. Packing the same amount of damage but a slower fire rate, I think that there's 3 other 9mm that completely outperform this thing. Dressed like a candy cane and neighing like a stripeless zebra, I'm putting the Cavalier right behind the Valet. The A and S tier are packed with phenomenal weapons, and the Ploika is no exception. One of the best guns to build around, it has a rate of fire that will absolutely shred through enemies. Great durability, low weapon weight, and the most abundant ammo type in the game make this an extremely convenient gun to get. The Ploika is just another one of those guns that has a lot of leeway to shrug off the negative effects of unlabeled oils. There's so much versatility in this thing. I'd say the only issue would be eating through ammo way too quickly or finding a priming bolt to ruin that damage potential. There ain't much else that's gonna hold this baby back, and that's why we're putting it in the A tier. Major Domus. Says it's essentially a head servant. Yeah, your mama's a head servant. Yo, the Major Dome is basically a cross between the Mossman and the Mario. It's got the good spread and RPM like the Mario, but with the ammo capacity of the Mossman. I originally had this in the S tier, but running through Dungeon with this, I realized it doesn't work that well on the humans. It's not the biggest deal since you could just shatter their mass, but so can every other weapon. I'd also say that the reload is a little bit of a chore on this thing. It's far more understandable on a shotgun as opposed to a laser cell firing light machine gun, but I still wouldn't consider that an S tier trait. I love you, buddy, but you're falling just short of the S tier for me. Next up is our other foldable weapon from the Desert Collective, the Farsight. Great damage coupled with a very reliable RPM, this gun excels in the role that the Rakua and the Pierre aim to fill. It packs an 8-round magazine and fires a 5.56 just like the Taylor Marksman, but deals 16 more damage per shot and can follow the bullets up quicker to secure the kill. But like the Taylor Marksman, it doesn't have the best crowd control, still requiring 2 to 4 shots for most enemies, and only an 8-bullet cap can make this a potential party pooper. But still, if you get this gun in your sights, it'll take you far through this game. The Vrede is just like the Valet, but it's pronounced differently. Cool, right? Oh, and it's got a better mag capacity, so it makes it more reliable in gank situations. In all honesty, what else is there to say? It's the same 9mm SMG that goes pew pew and does 60 damage per bullet that we already covered 4 other times. Same shit, just a more rounded booty. If I picked up this gun, I'd be Vrede for a win. The Catacoil is a cool cat capable of committing cataclysmic catastrophe. Assault rifles are top tier in this game, and this gun is no exception. Fantastic RPM, 0 recoil, solid mag capacity, and a great overall damage output. The only thing that makes this gun falter is the rate of ammo consumption. Dealing 60 damage per shot like a 9mm, but with a lot less common ammo type, means it's easier to run out of ammo during a Sulflocke. And yeah, that's literally it. That's my only complaint about this gun. That and the fact that you can't put a barrel attachment on it, but the spread's pretty good already, so it doesn't really matter. I know the homie Dot loves this gun, and I'll bet all 0 of my YouTube dollars that he puts it in his top 5. While I don't quite consider it S tier, it breaks the top 10 in my opinion. You kids want to see a dead body? If you answered yes to that question, you gotta pick this fucking gun up. The Longboy is a phenomenal sniper rifle that handles well and sends vandals to hell. A single bullet from your boy packs 400 damage. That's 2.5 Balthazar shots, 2 Rakua snipes, 5 seconds of reloading the NOP, and the equivalent of just throwing the unknown at the enemy. With a mag size of 6, this train has the capacity to take 6 passengers straight to the afterlife. Most enemies will be one-tapped by this thing, and there is such a strong argument for S tier, honestly. My grievances with the weapons stem from the extremely scarce ammo supply since it's chambered in 50 BMG, and despite being a Mike Tyson blow to the face, it doesn't fare as well in fights with the Emperor or Terror Bomb. One of the coolest weapons in the game, but you'll have to rely on your backup far too often for this to make my S tier. If you're ever on a nice date but you're lacking confidence, pick yourself up a wingman. This gun is yet another prime example of how all the ARs are designed to disintegrate the opposition. Disregarding these OP-ass Terminators, the wingman is chambered in 7.62 and pumps out an accurate 120 damage per bullet, killing the majority of other enemies in 1 to 3 seconds. The one thing gatekeeping this gun from the S tier is the mag capacity. 18 bullets doesn't quite cut it when its competition bolsters 30 or more. The concept of a quick partial reload is really cool, but in an actual combat situation it's never utilized. While it may not get an S, it'll still get you a dub. Crowning our A tier is the futuristic vintage whatever the hell this thing is supposed to be, Augusta. Despite being classified as a shotgun, this thing is basically a rifle as well because that spread is so damn tight you can snipe enemies across the room. Packing 450 damage per shot at base kit, the gun is a force to be reckoned with. It does require 3 energy cells per shot however, so you do have to be extra careful not to waste ammo. Faster enemies can give this weapon a bit of trouble as well, since missing one of the 2 shots can be detrimental. Still though, as a boss killer and common enemy one-tapper, this gun earns its right as a top tier killing machine. The Augusta tops off our A tier and we're finally on our final 7. Kicking off the S tier is a gun that took me quite a few tries to actually learn and appreciate. The Duhar did absolute dick diddly when I tried using this in Castle and I was gonna completely write this thing off. This gun is about as accurate as a gas station fortune teller, and because of this, I'd tear through the 40-round mag barely killing a single enemy. So I did my due diligence and decided to give this another shot, and I got the complete opposite result. I barely fire the Duhar and the enemy is already dead. And understandably so, because with 1400 rounds per minute, this thing is close to the Ploika, but with 100 damage per bullet. Yeah, that guy's not going to be in Sulfur 2. With good trigger discipline, the Duhar will carve its way to the credit screen. The Ferryman is a 50 BMG chambered submachine gun. I don't know what the fuck is supposed to be sub about this thing though, because it takes up half the damn screen. Dealing 300 damage per shot, fully automatic, this is the Ferryman to the river Styx. Enemies and bosses can pick up their one-way ticket to getting the hell out of your way. This carries the same grievance with every other 50 BMG, you need to conserve ammo. But if you need something dead, this gun will 100% do it. The Type 80 Typhoon is every positive thing I said about the Wingman, but with an ever so slightly larger mag and less recoil. And it reloads faster. And it shoots faster. And it has more friends. And it makes more money than the Wingman. And it actually gets a spot in the S tier. The flock must have been referencing a flock of seagulls because when I got this gun, I ran through this game. By far my favorite shotgun. The reload, fire rate, damage potential, durability, weapon weight, reliability. This gun has it all. It's the most balanced shotgun of the bunch for any Sulflocke, and it's extremely compatible with a myriad of oils. Any form of penetration on this thing like a scroll of light, and you don't need anything else to beat this game. The Flockizashi cements itself as one of the absolute best guns in Sulfur. The Rector is the pinnacle of a bullet hell turret simulator. Despite making you waddle like a penguin, this gun is the ultimate street sweeper, clearing any horde of enemies out of your way. With a 100 round drum, 800 rounds per minute, and 100 damage for each of those rounds, even if you got a stationary oil on this thing, just play tower defense. You're basically a glass cannon juggernaut in a point and click adventure game. Just tap the enemy and don't fail your quick time events. Hey, I got a god awful joke for you. What did the Rector do to the assholes on screen? It wrecked them. Alright everybody, we're down to the final 2 weapons on this entire list. Which gun is going to rise victorious and be crowned as some random dude's favorite weapon in a specific indie games challenge run? Remember to lock in your votes by registering your life away in case of frivolous war. Did you win? Did you guess the Fisk? Well, I hope not, because I don't have any money to pay out. Despite only being my second favorite gun in this game, this gun can solo Sulfur. The Corpse Maker is like buying your kid a Ferrari for their first car. With how easily accessible this gun is in the first level, it's got no right being this damn good. The 666 RPM may look like a meme, but paired with a very light recoil, tight spread, and 96 damage per round, This gun excels in every single scenario. This gun doesn't need a single oil to be good, but its flexibility and high stat distribution across the board make it functional with practically any build. The Corpse Maker is so damn good it completely removes the challenge from a challenge run. You have to get nuked by armor and unlabeled oils to ruin this thing, but the same could be said for anything in the game. The Corpse Maker helped my dumbass beat the game on my first playthrough, so it has to be S tier. Alright everybody, only one more option, can you guess which? Yeah, it's the Fisk. I was a Call of Duty kid growing up, so everything about this gun just feels right. Seriously, it feels like we're perked up with a COD loadout rocking stop and power, double tap, and sleight of hand. When I said that the Corpse Maker can solo a run, the Fisk can do it better. How the hell did you make my S tier more S tier? You gave it less recoil and a faster rate of fire than the Corpse Maker, and it reloads quicker. The fuck, Sulfur, you're not supposed to pick a favorite child. The sheer versatility of assault rifles in this game already make them phenomenal, but you had to give one of them all the best traits. But anyways, there you have it, the definitive list until somebody makes a different one. Obviously, every weapon in this game is still viable. If you need proof of that, I'll update you when I finish my unknown and NOP only Sulflocke video. The homie Dot, one of my favorite content creators on YouTube, is releasing a gun video as well, and he's going to be focusing more on the gun building aspect of things, so stay tuned for that. With all that being said, hope you liked the video. I'm dealing with some pretty negative stuff in my life right now, so trying to create something just helped ease the stress. Subscribe for more if you want to. Anyways, bye!
End up being so lucky. It's going to be a tough uphill battle, but if Taco415 could do it, so could we. Just kidding. Taco415's a goat, all right? I'm not going to even try